Sebum wins. And so after seeing the competitors going through their posing, mandatories, and so on, I surveyed my audience. I said, how many of you think Sebum is coming in first, second, and or third? And so in first place, Sebum wins 64% of the audience. And in second place, Martin, and 10% said Sebum is low-key, casually looking Turk. And so if you're looking for your T-plug, code Greg, 15% off. Remember, money back guarantee as well as a $20 gift card. And so what do you have to lose? And so what the IFBB have to now do is find a way in order for Sebum not to win. And are there not amazing physiques that are perhaps a little bit smaller than the men of classic physique that most men would dream of having? Not quite as big as Urs, Ramon Dino, and Sebum, but a little bit smaller. And so why don't we add another category? Let's call it classic physique light. Male muscle model, whatever. And the weight cap for that, it's simple. It's 20 pounds less than men's classic physique. And so whatever the weight cap is right now, for example, Sebum's 242 pounds, you lower it by 20 pounds. That is actually the weight Sebum used to compete at his very first Olympia. And so it's still very big, very impressive, and it would be extremely exciting for the fans to cheer for a new classic light Mr. Olympia champion. More competitors could compete at this weight class. Why must they resort to abusing performance-enhancing drugs in order to put on that muscle? Do we not love the Greek god aesthetics? Abso-friggin-lutely, and you do not need to be as big as Sebum in order to have an amazing physique. And so with the weight cap 20 pounds smaller, I do believe this would be an amazing category at next year's Olympia. But what about the 212? What about it? How many of you actually care about the 212 category? I don't. You can debate me. You can say, oh, you need to have this weight category. Why should we? Keon Pearson won the Mr. Olympia, while Sean Clarda, he only got second, yet when he jumps into open, does he seem to be struggling? And so how is that bad? And so why separate these categories when the men who are in the 212 category, they clearly compete against the men who are taller? There's no need to have a 212 category. All it does is make shorter competitors compete in that weight class. Well, we already know that these short kings, if they want to, they can move up in the open and do well. Hadi Chopin and Derek Lunsford were both 212 competitors. They moved up into open, and how did they do? They both became Mr. Olympia champions. And so why do we have two categories that we don't need? And so we abolished the 212 category that no one cares about, and we add in classic physique like that everyone cannot wait to watch. And what about men's physique? Well, my personal opinion is they're too big. Every year the standards kept getting bigger, and so what did they eventually have to do? Well, they said we need to add in a weight cap. And so they cut it off 10 pounds smaller than classic physique. And so what do I propose? We make it even smaller. Why do men's physique competitors, the board shorts, have to have as much muscle and or more than many of the men's classic physique competitors? And so we need an entry division. Something that's low-key easier for men to start to get into. And we need to have not just one, but two categories. We need a lighter category for perhaps the natties, guys who are a little bit smaller, guys like David Lade, Shizzy, Hussein Farhat, or perhaps even Jeff C. Did you know Jeff C. just won the Natural Olympia? Does he look not bad? What's wrong with that size of physique? Why can't we have a category for men the size of Jeff C. who perhaps want to remain natural to be the best of the best? And so if you're thinking, no, that would be way too small. Sebum this year, classic physique was 242 pounds. Subtract 20. He's 222. That's the limit for classic physique light. Subtract 20 again. That's the limit for men's physique. 6'1", 202 pounds, 5% body fat. Bro's shredded. You might be thinking it's not big enough. Shizzy was 6'3.5", 2.5 inches taller, and weighed 201 pounds. And so Shizzy could literally gain 15 pounds and still make that weight category. And why would we stop there? Add another one. 182 pounds. You're 6'1", diced 182. That is an aesthetic physique. That would be the size of David Lade when he's shredded. Does anyone want to see the most aesthetic physiques in the world, but perhaps have a little bit less muscle? It would be the perfect entryway into bodybuilding. And as you get better, perhaps you win that competition, you go up into the next category and you're allowed to add 20 pounds. Following that, if you're not satisfied, you can take take it up a notch. You keep progressing up. This is exactly what they do in women's categories. Think of it. Now, they don't offer a weight category, but is there really a difference? If you're an entry-level competitor, you've been training for perhaps only 2 or 3 years, what do you compete in? Bikini. Then, if you're not satisfied with bikini or perhaps getting too much muscle, what do you then compete in? You compete in figure. They're a little bit bigger, perhaps even a little bit leaner. Then that's not enough. You continue to put on muscle. What do you then compete in? It's called women's physique. Notice they continuously are progressing. They're adding more muscle. It's getting more hardcore. And after women's physique, if that ain't enough, you go into women's bodybuilding. That is, in fact, the 4th category. Are you with me now? We're progressively overloading into more and more muscle. We're getting freakier physiques. And in women's category, what else do we have? We have women's wellness. For women who want to have larger muscles in the lower half, smaller in the upper half. Men, we don't want that. And so the men would have 5 categories according to what I'm suggesting. And the women, they could have 6. And you're thinking, well, how did you get the 6th category? Women also have women's fitness. And so women right now have 6 categories. I'm proposing that men have 5. Does anyone think that that is not fair? What do you think of my suggestion? Does it make sense? Would you rather see this form of competition where every category up, they add on 20 pounds and they get larger? At the top, you have Samson Doda, the best bodybuilder in the world, over 6 feet tall, almost 300 pounds. Second best, second top tier, guys like C-Bum, guys who are massive but have the aesthetics. Next, smaller versions of C-Bum, the way he looked when he first entered the Mr. Olympia about 6 years ago. And after that, we now have our board shorts divisions where the men are a little bit smaller, more realistic, more of the beach body physique, and the first barrier of entry even smaller, 20 pounds smaller. This is for guys who are likely 100% natural. Small waist, wide shoulders, conditioning, the Abercrombie model physiques. That is what I propose. And so remember, while trying to achieve all this, of course, you're going to be training harder than last time. You're going to be optimizing your sleep, rest, recovery, and so on. And so why not optimize your supplements? You can get Turkesterone, GO2 Max, and of course, the Seco protein bars, all of which have a money-back guarantee. And not only that, we also offer a $20 gift card if you're unsatisfied. If it didn't work, you didn't feel it. What else do you have guaranteed in life? Aside from death, taxes, some woman screwing you over harder than last time, and Mike Israetel blaming his tan on not winning his competition. Subscribe, click the bell button, comment to boost the algorithm, like the video if you liked it. Watch one of those 2 bloops, and of course the cookbooks, the training books, the Circle Diet Book, the Hard and Last Time clothing line. And we have over 400,000 newsletter subscribers. Can you believe it? Watch all of my videos wishing C-Bum the best. What a representation of the sport, putting standards in all categories. And until next time, I am out.